Hi everyone, it's Kate. Welcome back to my channel. Today I've been recording so many videos for my offline projects for people who missed the sessions, and I can sound a little bit exhausted because that I've been recording videos. But anyway, I want to talk today about the position of creator. In previous videos, and you will see a suggestion somewhere here, I spoke about the position of victim to understand that how does it feel like and what usually people do when they are in the position of victim. And there is a healthy way of existence that goes from like way out from a position of victim, and Daniel something in the book The Empowerment Triangle named it a position of author, a position of creator. Yes, author of your life, creator. And I want to talk about my understanding, how does it feel like and how you act when you are in the position of creator. Because there were misunderstandings in the comments. I saw that people do not quite understand what I mean when I talk about creator, position of creator. So when you are in this position, I made some notes so I don't miss a thing because it's like quite a lot. So when you are in this position, usually you are calm and balanced, and you like centralized, and you can tolerate different levels of stress without reacting to it, like your psyche is calm and focused. Then the next thing, you know and respect your own values and needs. So you know yourself very well, you studied yourself quite enough, and it's like, don't get me wrong, it's never ending process, because the more we study about ourselves, the more new things we find out about ourselves. So it's like not a goal itself, it's the way of living. Being an author, being a creator, is the way of living. It's like new mindset that you develop, and the more you study yourself, the more you find yourself in this position, because it's related. So being an author of your life, it's like outcome that you have when you follow in this lifestyle. When you study yourself, when you know your needs, when you know your values, when you build healthy and constructive relationships with our people, because you are able to talk directly about your needs and about your values, and you're able to tell people what needs and values of theirs, their needs and values you are able to satisfy, and which of them you are not able. It's very important as well, because we cannot satisfy everything, all of the needs of other person, but we can, for us, some things are very easy. Like, for example, for me to support my partner is really easy because I'm like that. For me, it's like breathing, it's not a big deal for me. And for example, the person who needs maybe to hear these words, they would find me very like they would need they would find me very useful for them, very good for them, basically. So in this way we will have constructive relationships, because for me it's easy and for them it's something that they need, and we will like have this match. But there will be some needs that I will not be able to satisfy, and in the communication I have to convey really clearly that I see your need and I understand that I am not able to satisfy that need, and be honest about it. Because the more we try to pretend that we can do everything, or the more we try to force ourselves to do something that it's difficult for us, the more pressure between us we create, and it could be easily solved through a discussion and constructive dialogue. So the next thing, when you calm and respectful in conflict without making it personal. So the first sign for me that person is not in the position of a creator, but in a position or persecutor or victim, it's when they start going getting it like making it personal and going on level of identity. You are this or you are that. If you go to that level, it means you are cornered, you feel cornered, and you feel like you need to attack another person and attack their personality. When you are in the position of creator and author, you see that there is misunderstanding, and you have to find ways to communicate and make it like about situation or about actions, but not about the level of identity, the level of personality, because it's never a good story when you start insulting people or start saying them that they are not worthy or whatever. It's always about actions. You talk about actions, you talk about things that you like and you don't like, but don't make it personal, because then you are losing this position of author. The core belief of an author that everyone is okay, and everyone is a co-author of this story that is going on between us. It's like our communication, it's like we're writing the book between us, and we're making a story that will be written, for example. So how do you want this story to go? This is the position, the mindset of author, of creator of life. Another aspect is usually people who are authors, they know their self-worth. They don't need justification from other people. Like they do not rely on it. Of course, we need a feedback, and as at the same time, people who are in the position of creator, they accept constructive feedback. They do not deny things that are obvious, but you don't want them to be that way. But at the same time, if you are in the position of creator, you will not accept a feedback that is not constructive, because you will see that this is not about you. Actually, it's about persons, expectations, etc. So as a creator, you accept feedback, you accept constructive feedback, and you apply changes, and you try to, like, you work on yourself, because it's like a constant thing to do. At the same time, you know your self-worth, you understand what are things that you like about yourself, that you're proud of yourself, and also you understand what things you want to improve, and it doesn't scare you, it doesn't make you feel less about you. It's just you understand objectively that you are not a perfect person, you cannot fit into everyone's frame of perfect person, and you just do the best you can, and you accept your qualities that you have already. You know their value for yourself, because you study yourself well enough, and at the same time you show like you are empathetic, and you express this not only towards others, but first of all towards yourself. So you show empathy to your own emotions, you show support and respect towards your emotions, and only after that you do that with others. Because if you do not show real respect and real empathy towards your own emotions, you will never be able to know how good does it feel like when you express this towards your own emotions, and you will never be able to give others the same thing. So and others, like our relationships with other people, usually gives us a lot of information about where we are with this empathy thing. Because if we have really terrible relationships with people, for example, if we're stuck in the abusive relationships where people always constantly abuse us, it's a huge sign for us that we do this thing for ourselves, towards ourselves. For example, if we build relationships with people who are cold to us, like they do not show emotions to us, and we constantly need the emotion from them, it means we do not give empathy to our own emotions. We do not see and respect our own feelings and emotions, and it's time for us to stop demanding it from others and show it to ourselves. If no one gave us it before, it's a perfect time for us to give it this empathy to ourselves. And once we gave it, we know how good it feels to feel this empathy, and then we start to like project it on other people. We start to show empathy. At the same time, we know when it's a good time to protect ourselves, because we have good connection with our emotions, with our feelings, and we know when something feels wrong and when something feels not right. We will protect ourselves, and that gives us calmness and peace inside, that we will never betray ourselves. We will always protect our feelings, and we will always protect ourselves, and it gives us this confidence and calmness, and it develops our intuition, and we can rely on ourselves in life, and it helps us to be more active, express ourselves more, be more creative, like manifest ourselves into this world and realize ourselves into this world. So another thing is, when we are creators and authors, we are direct and honest with ourselves and with other people. And it means even when we do not like something, we will try to do our best to meet with this quality of ours, or with this situation, and find ways to deal with it, not just ignore it. So we are honest and direct. The same thing with outside world. When we don't like something, or when we like something, we will be direct about this and honest about this. It may not always feel nice. It's like those kind of dialogues where you don't want to have them, but still, because you feel that respect to yourself, to your own emotion, and you at the same time you understand that it's important to keep the quality of the relationships on a high level, you will talk about it. And I have my own personal example where when I was living with, we call them sponsors, who gave us a shelter in the UK, and we had this dialogue that for my sponsor, she told me honestly, like, listen, this is very not comfortable for me to talk about it, but I understand that the more I keep it to myself, the more pressure I create in our relationships. And I felt it, but I didn't know what's happening, and it made me start thinking from my own perspective. I started thinking like, maybe she doesn't like this and that, but in reality, when she spoke about what she didn't like and what was not comfortable for her, I realized that, okay, I understand you, I respect your position, and we need to find a way out. I will try to do this and that. So we became with a plan how we will deal with this situation, and the pressure like steamed away immediately, because it was created by this fear that someone will reject our position, or reject us because of our position, or maybe the conflict will grow up and it will be inconvenient for both of us. But you have to go through that fear and still be direct and honest about this. So and it leads me to the next point, that when you a creator, an author of your life, you express anger. It doesn't mean that it blew away and you become like a unicorn with butterflies from your butt. you express anger, but in a constructive, creative way, respecting others. So what do I mean by that? For example, I'm teaching myself, whenever I feel anger or whenever I feel like I'm, building up this huge energy of anger inside of me, there are usually two different situations. Once it's in the conflict, when I understand that it's just a small situation and I give myself a time out. So I go into my room, I close the door, or I go to find a place where I will stay alone. I close my door and I start doing something with my hands. For example, I reorganize my clothes, or try to do things that there were like on the list, but I didn't have time to do them. For example, washing the dishes, or like I said, reorganizing my clothes, or like hoovering, whatever, like doing something with my hands, and it helps me to calm down and release the steam of this anger through my hands, like I'm doing something physical with my hands, like, or for example, it could be drawing, or sewing, or whatever thing. And I turn on my favorite music that always lifts up my mood, or I'm dancing, so until I feel that the wave is gone, it's out from my body. So after that, when I calm down, and first time when I started using this technique, it took me 6 hours to calm down fully, like until I felt like, yeah, I can talk like a normal person now, I can communicate, I can talk about my feelings, I can do things with someone else. During that time, I needed to stay alone. Like, I was like, my son was trying to approach me, but I said like, no, I am not available to communicate now, because anything that I will say to you will be just complete trash. So just leave me alone. I will go stay in my room. I will do my things. Once I feel like I'm calm, I will come back and we will talk and discuss all the things you want to discuss. And you will be surprised, even 9-year-old boy understood me perfectly, and he was like, yeah, okay, fine. So once I calmed down, then I went back to to the outside world, and I was able to do things together, like reunite with, at that moment it was with my son. We like played a video game together for a few minutes, and then I was able to talk about my feelings. I said like, listen, this situation, it blew me away, and I wanted to yell and shout and all of that, because I was not expecting you behave this way, and I didn't know how to be myself, because I had an expectation that things will go this way, and then you started acting this way, and it was not convenient at all, and all of that. And then we found the solution during discussion, that I asked him, so what it was all about for you, and we started talking, and we found the solution how to be next time. And thank God that since that moment nothing like that happened, and it seems like it's not gonna happen again, because we found the root of the situation, and found the solution. So this is my example of how to express anger in a situation when it's just like a situational thing. Another type of situations is when things are going not according to my plan, and it involves the world, like the big world, not someone with whom I'm communicating directly, but in general. Like, I had a plan that I will do this and that, but then something happened here, something there, and everything went not according to the plan, and it's postponing my things and all of that, and I'm getting angry because of the things going on according to my expectations, and then I have this anger. So in this moment, I try to redirect the anger into doing something that I wanted to do so much, but I didn't have enough courage to do. For example, like I had an anger about, I don't remember what situation, about the conflict that I had with my ex-boyfriend, and I was like, I saw that it's not about him, it's about my day, whole day went wrong, and I said like, listen, I will talk to you later, I need to calm down. And then I went to my laptop, and I made a plan, like a content plan for my Instagram. I opened up the notes and I started like pouring up the ideas about what I can create content, like what topics. And I was like postponing that task for so long because I was like, no, people already know this, people already know that, I don't know what to talk about, everyone said everything on the planet Earth, like everyone knows everything and all of that. I don't know how to make it nice, I don't have a good camera to record the videos that I would like to record the way I want them to be filmed and all of that. And I had a lot of excuses for myself not to do that, but at the same time I know that I need to do that task. Like without that I will not have like I will not have ideas, and I want to post every day. So I used that anger and I redirected that anger into just, oh, fork it, I will just write down everything that I think about. And you will be surprised that I've made like around 30 points, and now I'm using them for my, like every day I record things, I make content on my Instagram, and I use those topics, and the feedback that I have is like overwhelming for me, because people like reacting to this, they like finding themselves in the things that I write down or record. So this is another way. I think it calls sublimation or something like that. I don't know. It's like when you redirect your, no, it's about redirecting your sexual energy, not anger energy. Anyway, so yeah, so, and it shows me as a creator, like I'm in the position of the creator. It doesn't mean that you don't feel anger. Everyone can feel anger and everyone can be furious or whatever, but this is the way, about the way how you express that anger. If you start using it in the constructive, in the creative way, it's one thing, but when you use that anger to destroy or God forbid, kill someone else or harm someone else, it makes you in the position of persecutor, in the aggressive position, not a position of creator. You are the victim who became a persecutor. But if you redirect that anger in a constructive way, it makes you a creator, and it's about your choice. You have a power to choose to go one way or another way, and this is the huge power that we have as human beings. So I encourage you to be an author, to redirect your anger into a constructive way. Have a set of constructive and supportive beliefs about the world and yourself. So when you're in the position of author, you have constructive beliefs about you, about the world, because you studied yourself, you understand yourself better, it gives you better understanding of other people, you develop your empathy, and you express your difficult emotions in a constructive way, and it gives you that it starts to support you, to support your beliefs, your system of beliefs, and you start shifting them from destructive into constructive, and you change your beliefs about yourself and the world outside of you. Feeling grateful and in peace about themselves or their circumstances. I like this phrase that we cannot change our past, but we can change our feelings, how we feel about that past, how we think about that past. So there are some techniques how to work with it, and depends on how tough it was for you. I would recommend that to do inside of the therapy sessions, or talking to someone whom you can trust and you feel like they influence you in a constructive and a positive way. They make your life better, realistically. Yeah. So you can write down 10 things or 10 people whom you met and they made your life like a nightmare, or they were traumatic in some way for you. You can start from small things and then go deeper so you feel more confident about it. And then, yeah, usually it's better to start with some easy things that, for example, on a scale from 0 to 10, you feel like when 0 it doesn't bother you at all, to 10 it bothers you like significantly. So take things like at point 1, 2, when it bothers you just a little bit. Try this tool, this technique on these kind of situations, and then once you feel more confident, go to 3, then when you feel more confident to 4, and etc. And so on. So write down things that made an impact in your life, negative impact in your life, and then in front of each of them write down 7 points describing in which way it was a gift for you, or in which way it was a lesson for you, a lesson about yourself, a lesson that made you stronger, a lesson that made you closer to yourself. So it's a really difficult one, but I did it myself. First, it was so tough, especially where emotions, in cases where emotions were so high. I was like, how on earth it could be good for me? How on earth it could be a gift for me? Or what kind of lesson could I learn from that except pain? But then once all these thoughts, I let them be and they passed, and I calmed down and I started thinking like deeper about that. I realized that actually there is, in all of them there were at least one huge lesson, and then I started seeing the pattern in all of them. And for me it became about empathy, and each of the, like most of those situations that made me show more empathy to myself, to my own emotions, and they like turned me looking from into outside. They turned me and my focus to inside, and they made me closer to myself. So, and that's actually what I am all about now. So everything that I'm saying, everything that I'm doing, my whole intention to let you know that, once you turn your focus from the outside to inside, your life will become better. It doesn't mean that it will happen like this, but it will happen if you continue like building that constructive relationships with yourself. Another thing is that a creator feels and has power over his or her own life, and it's about that power of choice. It's about that power that you use when you choose how to think, how to behave, how to talk to other people, how to express yourself into this world. It will influence on the quality of communication that you will have, and it will influence on how you will move inside of this journey of life that we have. Also, author believes life can change for the better. This is the most common thing that I noticed. Two main beliefs that the author has and which victim doesn't have, unfortunately, that life will change for the better and that I am a good person. So the core belief of the victim that I am bad. It could be in different ways. It could be like said in different ways, like I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, there are better people than me, and all those kind of like vibes inside of it. But the author believes that he or she is good, and it doesn't mean that better than someone else. No, good. I am good. And another thing, that life will get better. And victim believes that nothing will be better. Everything will be worse and worse and worse. So it's like one-way thing, and it will lead to the end and nothing good is there. When creator knows and believes that things will get better, things will be better, life will be better. Also, author can ask for help, and they will not feel less if they ask for help. That's very important, because when you understand that you author and everyone is co-author of this story that we all are in, we are equals, and asking for help is a normal part of existence, and it's okay to ask for help. When victim thinks that they do not deserve help, and then they start to demand help, and then they became persecutors. They became persecutors, and they stuck in the cycle. When to break out from the cycle means to understand that I can give help and I can ask for help, and it's a normal thing. We are co-authors and we can help each other. React with respect and appreciation and acceptance. We appreciate what's happening to us. We accept what's happening to us, and we respect what's happening to us. And one thing about acceptance, it doesn't mean that we accept bullshit, but we accept everything as a lesson, and it helps to give value to our own life. And once we see the value of what's happening to us in our lives, it gives us power to do something about it. If we do not accept, we cut ourselves off from seeing the value in it. And if we don't see the value in it, we don't have power over it. And when we don't have power over it, it means we are victims of circumstances. So I think it's like all related things, and I hope you got my point. If no, just let me know in the comments. At the same time, can and protect themselves constructively. So you don't see a threat in everything that is happening to you as a victim sees it, but you see everything as situations and life in its different forms, and you accept it the way it is. At the same time, you can protect yourself when you feel like the protection is needed for real, and you do it in a constructive way, through dialogue, through building up the communication. Sometimes we think that people are attacking us in conversation, but if you just listen carefully, you would probably hear a lot of pain in what people say, and it's them trying to express their pain. It's just they don't know how to do it constructively, and they start doing it in like aggressive manner. But once you understand the nature of your own anger, the nature of your own pain, you will have more understanding to others and more empathy to others, and things that would feel and hear as and heard as attack would have different understanding to you. What I mean is, like, I ask a lot of questions. When I communicate with people, I ask a lot of questions. And usually people don't like questions because most of them believe that if you ask a question, you attack. For example, if someone is saying like, I didn't want to do this and that, so I ask, so why you did that, or what you wanted to do instead of that, people start to think that I'm attacking them. But in reality, when I communicate with someone who's not in the position of victim, they just answer my question. Or I wanted this and that, or I did it because I think that I felt this and that way. So when I communicate with someone who is not in a position of victim, they do not overprotect themselves. They hear my question and they answer that because they know that they hear that I'm asking a question to get more information so I can understand person better, not that I want to attack them. But most of people get used to when you ask the question that it means that someone is trying to attack you, when in reality, once you're in peace with yourself, you understand that people ask you questions because they want to understand you better. Another thing is, at the same time, creators see themselves as an authors of their own lives, and others as co-creators, that I mentioned before, because you respect yourself, you respect others, you are in peace with yourself, you understand that we are all part of the story that we write in every second, and what do you want that story to be like. Yeah, the core of every creator is inner peace. Peace with who you are, how world works, and the belief that everything is happening in the best way for us. It might be difficult to hear those things when we are in the position of victim, or when we are in the position of persecutor or a rescuer, because we are not in peace with ourselves. And it seems impossible, almost on the level of magic or illusion. But once we get to that point, we understand that it's so real. And once we are in connection with ourselves, for us it becomes not just a knowledge, not just words, it's real, it's for real. Like being a victim is for real for the victim, the same thing being an author for author is for real. Being a creator is for real. And the core belief here is, the core thing is, you are in peace with yourself, you understand yourself, you study yourself, you leave yourself a room for change. You are in the, like, you have this, you build this connection with your inner world, with your emotions and feelings, and it gives you this freedom to express yourself. You are not scared of yourself, you don't think bad about yourself, you understand that you make the best choices you can from what you have already in this moment, in this particular situation, in this particular circumstances. So and this gives you this inner peace And then once you got it inside, you understand that actually everyone is doing the same thing. We all trying to figure it out, and we all looking for that inner peace in one way or another. And there's actually no persecutor or no need to attack or protect yourself. The only need that is there is quality communication, quality of listening and understanding of each other. And this is actually how world works, because people, not all of us can communicate, not all of us can be constructive. This is why we have what we have in the world, not because people are bad, it's because we don't know how to make it right. And this piece with you accepting the fact that you also don't know how to make it right, and we are in the process of figuring it out. Some people just went farther because they started understanding it earlier than we. We are trying to catch up. So understanding of this concept gives you understanding that world is actually not a bad place. It's just we all trying to figure it out. And it gives, like, the result, it gives you the belief that actually we are moving in something better, and everything that is happening in the best way for us. So I hope this video, really long one, the longest that I've ever made, was useful for you, and I hope it will reach out. The more people that will see and hear actually what I'm trying to say, what I'm saying, the better, I think the better effect it will have for all of us. Because what I'm talking about is that I'm the creator and you are the creator, and we all are co-authors of this life that is happening here, and it's on us to choose what kind of story we want to make it. So I want it to be a story with the good ending and the good process inside of it, where everyone got free from being this dramatic triangle in this dramatic dynamics, draining dynamics, and everyone starts manifesting themselves and being more themselves, and being more being closer to themselves. And because I think, and I personally believe, that if we look deep inside, we will find that we are all good people, and we are all creators, and we are all, real. We are not fake. And it's very important to know. And it's very important to believe that we can do something better. We can do something beautiful. We can create something beautiful in this world. Thank you so much for watching this video. And thank you so much for choosing to invest your time into something more important, into something more beautiful, into something more, into something that leads you more towards you and closer to you. And I hope it will help you to build your dream life and feel more in peace with who you are. See you in the next videos.